Good
Hey, good
morning.
morning.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for your patience with us.
Fun with Zoom today. We are
Yeah.
all just, it's a Wednesday. But
It's a Wednesday. I don't know what that means, but we should have our act together by now, but my computer is not. Yeah.
what happened there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Susan, I'm going to share my
Thank you.
screen.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. And Katrina, you're recording? Okay. I didn't hear the little thing. That's weird.
It did. Yeah,
Oh,
it
did?
did.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Got it. All right. Susan, you want to go ahead and get started?
Yep. Yep. Again, thank you. If you're just jumping in, I'm sorry about the switcheroo on the link. We all were trying to join a meeting that was already in progress and we don't know how. But we are here now. And so we are about to be 1 month out from our 2026 Shop for Good campaign. We're bringing back a back to school theme for this, but there's lots of opportunities, whether you're in the traditional back to school or education space for nonprofits to get involved. So we're excited to walk you through the toolkit because we want you to be as successful as possible and we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get involved. So we can go to the next screen.
Okay.
So, if just in case you're new to Share and what our Shop for Good campaign is, throughout the year we do different campaigns to the public. Obviously, we have Giving Tuesday, which is focused primarily on donations, but lots of ways for people to get involved on giving back on Giving Tuesday. And then we had just had in April, we had our Do Good Week, primarily focused on volunteerism. And then in July, we do a Shop for Good campaign, which is where we promote your Amazon wish list, your most needed items, so that Charlotte neighbors can learn how to shop for you. It's happening July 13th through 17th. And again, with that back to school focus, we're talking about early learners through college, educators and staff members. If you run after school enrichment programming from sports to ballet, mentoring programs, and then if you serve families that are going to need back to school supplies, that can be anything from pencils to hygiene to journals to backpacks. Lots of different variety within that space. So we can go to next screen. Our big idea for this year is let's pack potential for every student. So key messages that I'm going to be using throughout this that of course you can jump on and use also, but what we really want to communicate to Charlotte neighbors is obviously this is about more than putting a pencil in a or a backpack, delivering that to a child. This is just about what education means for children in our community. We want to remind everybody that Charlotte students are all of our students because they're the future of our community. So we want to reduce any barriers that exist for them having opportunities to succeed. We know that Charlotte teachers already give so much with the little that they are given. And a lot of them are spending their own money, upwards of $200 a year, getting their classrooms ready, or just knowing that needs exist in their classroom and wanting to help students and families out. We also know that you guys have tight budgets. And so you're not having to spend money on the supplies that you need for your programs or getting items in the hands of your clients just means that dollars go further so that you can invest in your staffing, your programming, and things that will really move the needle for your impact. So that's our big idea, packing potential. Go next. Duke Energy is back as our partner for this. They weren't able to join us on the call today, but they really, one of their just pillars is in education space. And so they're excited to be back again with us to help support this work that we're doing. So more on that to come. So why participate in Shop for Good? One, you took a great first step this morning by being on this call. We really want to increase participation among our nonprofits because, again, we just know this. It can really help whether you're getting $50 worth of items or $500 worth of items, every little bit we know it right now helps. And we want to, again, make it easy for you to get the supplies that you need. So Shop for Good makes it really easy for the community to know what you need and exactly how to give it back to you. So some people really like giving where they know exactly how their money is going to be used, or they can just sort of picture, whatever the item is going into the hands of a child. So it makes it really easy for them to give back in that way. When you partner with us on these campaigns, you're just introduced to a broader audience. We're really blessed to have an audience of, almost 60,000 people between email and social media subscribers every week that can see your name associated because they're on our page, and we want to just help build momentum for you. And it's just been impactful since 2020, 2015. You can see the numbers there, 26,000 K in products valued at over $223,000. So it has been successful over the years, and we want to make it successful for you again this year. Share Charlotte's role. What we're going to do is help create the buzz. So you tell us what you need, and we spread the word. What that looks like on our end is we'll have, the main banner on our page will be promoting Shop for Good throughout July. We'll create a digital guide, which we'll look at in a second, that we'll distribute through email and on social. That makes it really easy for people to see your organization, the impact you're trying to make, and how their purchase can support you. And we'll have blog posts also. Of course, we'll use social media and our email, our neighbors' email newsletter to spread the word about that. Also, we'll get in touch with our media partners. When you fill out that media form, we'll let them know. We'll see, this is, this organization has this critical need. Are we good? Okay. This organization has this critical need, and this is a story that we want to help tell. So we'll let our media partners know, WBTV, Positively Charlotte at QC News, WCNC, our podcast, and also WSOC. Let them know about stories that are happening in our community. Obviously, they'll be interested always in back to school, what's happening for back to school. We also have an email list of corporate leaders, CSR and HR leaders who may be wanting to have giving campaigns that they're having. So we'll distribute that digital guide over to those folks and let them know about ways that they can get involved as well. This is just this year, we're going to have these daily giving themes, and hopefully you can find yourself in one of these throughout. So we'll start off by just talking about that back to packing potential with back to school basics. So our K through 12 early learners bunch. Again, just introducing the campaign, the guide, how people can take the next step. Tuesday, we're going to be focused on why supporting Shop for Good through this way is supporting our teachers, what they give throughout the year, and how we can just show up for them in this way. Wednesday, enrichment programs. So all of you that, help inspire our kids and develop their passion through the programs that you host for them, or just nurture their learning after school. This day would be focused on you. We have a college prep day on Thursday. So sending off first gen students to college for the first time with the supplies that they need. I know that has looked like gift cards in the past, or journals, or computer chargers, things of that nature. And then we're just going to be talking about Friday as a big shopping day to help people close out those lists. And so I also just wanted to put that in your bug in your ear about maybe that there's something that your nonprofit, depending upon the different items that you need, could possibly create its own daily theme for giving back during the week. To my team, I am flying by a little bit. So we don't have any questions or anything in the chat right now, right? I just want to check.
Yep. No, great to check. Nope, nothing in there.
If you do have questions along the way, please put them in. We'll also, have time at the end. But if anything needs a pause so we can address it, or a question about a specific thing, please jump on in. Okay, so our Shop for Good digital guide. I'm going to, Melissa, can you actually click over to show the guide?
Sure.
And that click that link. So this is our guide from last year. And as you'll see, when you go through, you have, you know, big space on there. We highlight in the space your name, your organization mission, and then you list out on the form, you'll have 2 to 3 things that you can list as needed items, but then we showcase your most needed item on there. So on our media form that you will fill out, you'll see that there is space for you to let us know all of these things. This is who I am. This is our impact. This is some things that we need. And then we're asking you to actually send the Amazon link, paste that into the Google form of your most needed item, as that will be the picture that shows up next to the item that you want the most. So that's the guide. And you'll have a chance also. I want to get this right. So I'll also, right before the guide goes out, I'll just be sending you a screenshot to make sure everything looks good in the guide for you.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. That media form is also where, just like when we're doing Spotlight or other things that we do for different campaigns, it's just where you let us know your stories. It's how you get in the digital guide. It's how we pitch media stories. And then it just helps shape the whole campaign for language that I will use as I'm talking about this to our neighbors. And so, you know, just share whatever you want to about, you know, what your clients are facing, how these items really can have an effect on the families you serve. So just include as much as you want to in that. Another thing I want to highlight about this year's form is that I've asked you all about any volunteer opportunities that exist for distribution events for these items. If you need people to help pack up or distribute the items, we can also promote that as well. And then I asked Juanita from Barbell to join us, just because I know that last year we had a conversation actually about this when, you know, Shop for Good had that back to school campaign, and just how Juanita found herself in that. So I believe hopefully she was able to find us and join. She's here.
I am here. Yay, I made it.
Hey,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thanks for hunting us down so you can be a part of this. Yeah, like just as I said, you know, just talk about, you know, your experience last year with Shop for Good, and, you know, how you first felt about it, and then how you know, stocked your wish list and conversations you and I had about it.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I said, well, it's really the theme was back to school. And since we are an after school well, for those of you who don't know us, well, we are an after school program, and we provide tuition free ballet, creative movement, and yoga classes to under resourced students in Charlotte through community centers, after school church programs, and after school programs at school. So I said, well, we're an after school program, so I'm not seeing how I fit in here. But I spoke with Susan about it, and I had to kind of rethink the campaign for how it would work for us. So sorry, he's always here. Uh, um, I looked at some of the things, I kind of broke it down and say, oh, you know, we do need some teaching supplies that would be helpful. And some of the things that we had on our list, for example, were stickers, because a lot of the we like to give them encouragement, and all of our kids just love stickers. We have journals that we have the students complete, certificates for when they do a good job. We use a ton of laminating sheets because we laminate everything because little fingers are messy. Um, we need yoga straps because that was something that the students use for stretching, as well as we also use hula hoops. It's for placement, not for hula hooping, really. Um, we did list our ballet slippers and leotards, and we did get a few of those, but that wasn't primarily what we got. We primarily got office supplies, which included things like postage stamps, printer paper, envelopes, cardstock. One thing I really like is the post-it notes, the large ones that you can put on the wall, because that's very helpful. I put on there printer ink. That's really expensive and important. And any kind of technology need that you might have, you might want to put that down. We did list gift cards as well. I do like this year that you have the enrichment day, so I'm really going to be pushing on that day for some items for that particular day. But I think that it's important to have a lot of things at different price points too, because one of our donors was trying to show her children about philanthropy. And so when they were going through the list, she just happened to tell me that they were so excited to see stickers because the kids said, Mommy, stickers, um, because that's something that they could relate to. And so I'm glad I put that on there as well, because whether it's a $5 item, $50 item, everything, does count. It's less money that we have to come out of our budget to get. So, I thought it was successful in the sense that I didn't expect to get anything. And then things started arriving because, there's so many needs out there. And, we had needs as well. But, just the generosity of the people was just um, endearing to me that people were willing to look at the program and say, "Oh, okay, we can meet this need." And when on our wish list, we did add like comments to the items that we
Yeah.
needed, so people could see why we needed that specific item, not just because you know I can't think of anything random. Like, I didn't put down like a laptop. We want a laptop so we can, do our business stuff. But that's something you could put down as well. But you could just make sure that there's a comment so people can understand. Like when I had hula hoops on our list, people would say, "Well, why do you need a hula hoop?" But we use it for placement for students when they're doing their plies, their second position plies, and it helps them to keep their backs and things straight. So um, and placement in the room, or if you need cones because you're separating lanes of students while they're doing an activity. Those things I think are important as well. So I think that's pretty much
Yeah, that's
all.
awesome. I love that. I love that, you thinking through just even when you said we're talking about the laminating sheets and why. I mean, I think that if you just take what could possibly be another 30 seconds or a minute as you're building your list, as Juanita has, and put in the reasons why um, stickers are there, hula hoops, they're laminating sheets, or there, whatever is on your list, and talk about directly into the impact. I mean, I wish we could do that in our digital guide, list every single thing and why. We can only highlight one, but that's your chance to do that on your wish list. And I really do think it makes a difference when you do that. I also love, Juanita, that when we talk about, you have those different price points for people that, can have a budget in mind of I'm going to spend $100 on this year, and here's things I could do within that 100, or I want to get involved any way that I can, and so I can do this $10 sticker pack. So having those price points on there, you never know what the person looking at your list is looking to do. So those are really great tips.
Hey, Susan, we had a question on the themes. So
Yeah.
let's go back to that one. Let's see if I can make that happen. There we go.
Basically, for me, this is just a way that I'm going to organize the content from Share this week. And so I just just as I'm planning and thinking about how I'm going to just roll out the campaign, these are just different items that I'm going to be um, talking about each day. So if I see in our digital guide, there's things that are, going for program support for teachers, or if you're teaching a program at your nonprofit, I'll highlight, at or tag your nonprofit. And if you're looking to, make sure teachers don't have to spend out of their pocket, you can partner with these organizations to buy supplies and tag you in those posts. Or whether it's your enrichment day, I'd be tagging Barbell about how back to school is, not just about what's happening in the classroom, but all these other programs kick off that help build up our child's potential, after school with other things. And so tagging them, that's how that would roll out. Just a way to organize content
Hey,
for me.
and Leslie, feel free to come off mute if you're still questioning. I think the ultimate thing is don't feel confined to our schedule in what you're
Correct.
promoting. You promote what's necessary for you. This is just how Susan's organizing the content to be able to give a bigger megaphone to certain things on different days.
So,
Because a lot of you, yes, Leslie, please.
so no, so I was trying to figure out, so as we share about our needs, like some of it might be for enrichment. So we might say, we need these items to do such and such. So I was just trying to figure out how you would know of when you would promote, if those are your could be your themes. How do we tailor and share our needs in a fashion that it's easy for you to say, oh, let me tag Ada Jenkins Center because these needs are in regards to enrichment. These
So
needs are
yeah.
in regards to things for their teachers or what have you.
Yeah, so I will just use what's in again from that media form and then what you've promoted as your most needed items and kind of go
Mhm.
from there. I mean, I'm just knowing about your organization, knowing that you all have a preschool and then you also have after school. I'll kind of just my knowledge of your organization will help me know where you fit into one of these categories as
Okay.
needed. Yeah. Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I think back to the point, like put it all in the media form, and that Susan uses that to source content and ideas to either, go through content that we're promoting or to media partners. So feel free to give more than one thought or content. There's no rules you're breaking in that media form. It's just coming to us.
Yeah.
We have Joe saying our spin is different. We work with schools that need medical mobility equipment for special needs students. It's easier to accept cash as kids come in different sizes and different needs. So we'd ask for cash towards this. Where do we fall in the theme? Uh, what do you think, Susan?
Well, I mean, I definitely think there is a obviously that does fit into the theme and these are needs children have going back to school. In terms of it being cash, I'm wondering though if you could is it doable to do with gift cards? Because most of this does come back to those Amazon wish lists. So
Yeah, we could do Amazon. We do have an Amazon wish list, but because kids come in different sizes, we
Yeah,
can't like I mean, we have one story. We had a 450-pound child who had obviously a glandular issue, and they needed a sit to stand lift for that child. Obviously, that was an adult
yeah.
bariatric item that they needed versus a small sit to stand lift. So, obviously it may take time for us to get with the teachers to find out what incoming students need for this year.
Well,
So,
and I would wonder too, Joe, if there's not a way you could use something that maybe like I would imagine I'm just making this up. What about the little tennis balls that fit on the bottom of some of the mobility equipment? And I'm just making this up, or maybe a cushion that sits on some mobility equipment. Is there something in common with a lot of the mobility equipment that doesn't have to be necessarily size specific, but also tells your story of like, we provide this incredibly important equipment to kids to help them be mobile. Or maybe it's something like I don't know, my kids use those like squishy balls, they like it for other stuff. Like, are there other, things that your kids enjoy that, but then in addition to that, ask for gift cards to support the purchase of this equipment. So. But again, that's why we're here. If we can be helpful in ideating, that's what we're here to do.
yeah, we might talk offline because again, our
Yeah,
our we've got a
perfect.
very
yeah.
different spin, but we're here to support the teachers and those
Yeah,
students.
yeah, and
So
that could look like a lot
very
of different
niche.
ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
Very
totally
Well,
get it.
yeah, I mean, I do think that, yeah, as Melissa said, just telling your story, just like one single item, but the the impact that people can definitely be, wow, I hadn't thought about these, how, a certain, population of our students need special equipment just to go to school. And this nonprofit is
Mhm.
addressing that. Like that pulls on heartstrings for people. So it's just like identifying one item that you can mostly just tell your story through. And then, as we talk about, even if it is you guys are asking for, gift cards and that's both, that just is less money that you have to spend, on your
Yeah.
budget so that you can spend other dollars on if you need to purchase things outside of Amazon. So, yeah.
Great questions, though.
Mhm.
All right, I think Susan. All right, I think we're picking back up here.
Yep. I've created some with our team. We have our amazing graphic designer, Nikki, has graphics that you can download from that folder. If anyone has any access issues, we should be good to go, but just let me know if you when you get the toolkit this afternoon or in just a little bit, actually in your shared bytes email. If you have any links that don't come up for you or anything, just let me know. But there's sample content in there that you can, just fill in the blanks and use, or just use it as a brainstorming about ways that you would obviously share your story. Help me find your content online by tagging at Share Charlotte when you do use posts. I always, do my best to see it. If I see it, reshare it to our stories. And then we use that Shop for Good CLT hashtag also helps me find your your content and promote it further as well. Nikki, also, you'll see where it says add this Shop for Good border down there. There's a link to a Canva template that makes it easy for you to drop in your photo, that photo that's in that bottom left corner. You can just, as Juanita did, you saw the slides before, where she put in some smiling, beautiful girls in ballerina gear. Just pop a picture in there. It makes it really easy for you to promote who these items go to. Is a great thing.
Oop. Okay. I don't know if that's it, but hold on. I think I hit the wrong button. That's what it was. Okay. 1 second. There we go.
Quick question.
Oh, no.
In your the toolkit, like the graphics, can we add our logo to those, or do we
Yes, you
just
can do whatever you want to
okay?
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't
There we go.
take off Duke Energy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Um,
This is just a calendar for, again, just helping people if you feel overwhelmed, like I have so much going on. These are just some guideposts for along the way so that when we get to July 13th and it's Shot for Good week, you've done a little bit of prep beforehand. So there's some deadline dates in there. June 26th is a big one for getting that media form in. And then just some things to prep your mind for talking to your staff members or your board about what should we promote this year if you work in a team environment like that, or what are little pieces of content that you can start putting together or filming or taking photos of so that you're ready to go the week of.
yeah. And something too, I would say that I've seen successful for other nonprofits is thanking people along the way. If you're getting in some boxes and you're like, just that could be a post one day. Thank you so much for the ballerina slippers. Our kids are going to love them. Or for this, that's just sometimes it's really nice, and it create the people like, oh wait, I forgot I was meant to donate to them and purchase. So something else just to think about. And Jessica, you were asking where you can find the media form. You're going to get this toolkit in a little bit, and it'll have all the links you could possibly want to fill that out.
And I also actually, because that form is so important, I actually call that out separately within Shared Bytes so you can find it really easily. So yeah, as Melissa was saying, I've put together just an idea of what content can look like. You can show the items that you need. You can show pictures of who it benefits, and then showing what you receive. Obviously, some items you might get, sometimes on Amazon you order something and it comes in 2 hours, and then sometimes it might take a few days. So, but if you do happen to receive something, I do think it's a really great thing to show. People love an unboxing video, and don't ever feel like this has to be very professionally done, or I need to, just people love authentic. Just express your true gratitude for what you have received. But if you did 3 posts throughout the week, and one was your items, one was showing, who benefits, and then showing something that you have received, you've done a great job that week. So those are 3 things to guide you.
And don't forget your boards too.
Mhm.
They are a partner with you in this too. So as you're thinking about things that they need, make sure they know that this is happening, that they can promote this to their friends and family as a way to support your organization with always out. I mean, money is great and we always want that, but sometimes people like just a few clicks to be able to support your organization. But just don't forget them and all that. That can be really quick story. Shining Hope Farms always did a great job of basically kind of having board members kind of compete against each other. So that's something else too, if you've got some goals or some competitive board members, just food for thought. All right.
We don't need to go through this, but it's just in the toolkit. Just again, some tips for content about what makes great stories. We've talked about this before, so most of you guys know this. But show item and impact. Make sure you always include a call to action, and remembering that pointing people back to your wish list on Share Charlotte. You'll have to include that, obviously on Instagram, do that whole link in bio thing, unless you create a quick, a short link somehow through Bitly or something like that. But make sure you always include that call to action so that people know what to do next after they've seen something, said, I want to do that. And then again, as I was just saying, videos are great. Keep them, preferably under 60 seconds, but you can just talk about like, where Assist Me, we're participating in Share Charlotte's Shop for Good campaign, and you can help us, bring mobility to students in schools this year by and da 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 da. It's just a quick video. Don't try not to overthink it too much.
Yeah. And what I would also add is don't be shy about being noisy this week. I mean, I think a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm going to bother people or think about how many emails, Facebook posts, Instagram posts that you see in a week, and you see it and you think about it and then you get busy doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're kind of repetitive this week and keeping it front and center for people, life just does life. And so just don't be shy about promoting what you need for the people you serve and the students you serve. They're incredibly important. So feel free to brag about it and get noisy about it.
Mm-hmm. Amanda, do you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, I can. So this slide is just showing how your user guide can help step by step to make the best wish list out there so that you can make it super easy and user friendly for your donors that are coming to your wish list. So just follow those steps step by step. So if you have questions on anything, that is the best place to start. But you can always reach out to me as well if you're having trouble on one of the steps. Go on to the next slide.
Yep.
And I hope you'll be inspired by some of the wish lists that are currently on the Share Charlotte website. We've got some really great ones out there that you can go on our site and skim through and just look to see what other people are using with their creativity and how they're attracting donors to their wish list. You'll get some great ideas to really have a great layout for what you need and how to really best describe those items and the tone for your wish list there. And then some really awesome tips that are great when you're building out your wish list to really help your wish list stand out. So take a couple of notes here in this section. The first one is just making sure that you name your list. Maybe name it barbell list or wish list. That way people can put that name and face kind of with that together. So if they share it with some people, they know exactly where this wish list is going to and how it's going to help those that see it and purchase those items. And then add a strong description. Just briefly share what your organization's mission is and who it benefits from those items. You don't have to say it's like a 501c3 because we all know nonprofits that have a wish list fall into that category, but just briefly describe what your mission is with your wish list. And this is great for reaching those new donors that are coming to your wish list from those shares on social media or from any exposure from Share Charlotte. And then build it thoughtfully out. So really think about what your program needs are and your urgent needs are and add those items to your wish list because those are really important. And then provide a range of price points. You may want to include items that are like 5, 10, 25, 50, 100, and include some bulk items because some people do like to purchase those items in bulk. That way it really makes it easy for all donors to participate regardless of what their budget is. And then add comments to the items that you have listed on your wish list. This is really great because it really helps personalize the requests that you're asking for those items and why you really need it. Some of my favorite descriptions have been on the Girls on the Run wish list. They've used over the years one that's called glue sticks that they need, and then they use the description as "we stick together, great for our workshop." So that's really a really fun way to tie in somebody to really want to purchase those glue sticks for them. They also use model magic a lot. That is like one of their most used craft items. So they put that in their description and it helps bring ideas to life. So that is a really great description that really helps people when they're on their wish list and want to purchase them to help bring that kind of creativity to life when they're in their programming for the year with Girls on the Run. Also set priorities. You can use this from highest priority to lowest. This really directs a lot of attention to the items that are highest and lowest. So when people are shopping those wish lists, they're going to go towards the highest need first. And then make sure you're setting accurate qualities of what you need. So it automatically sets to 1, but if you need 10 items, definitely make sure that's marked on that item that you need 10 for. This really shows the donors the impact when they're contributing to your goal if it's more than one item that's needed on there.
Great, thanks, Amanda. All right, Susan, is this you or?
Yeah, this is just one. We're getting towards the end. So it's like, okay, I heard all this information. So what do I do now? These are just, we've covered all this except for number 5, which is I'll get to, but this is just starting, the next thing you do, you're going to start by building your wish list. Putting those items together, talking again with your staff or board about what are some things that we need this year, what's something new that we might need this year, filling out that media form by June 26th, thinking through your promotions, how you're going to attract audiences, any pictures that you need to gather through July 13th through 17th. As Melissa said, be noisy. My goal for you, my goal for you would be 3 posts, 2 emails. Sending an email out on Monday, sending an email out again on Thursday afternoons. Like, it's not too late. You can help us, or thanking people that have already given. If you get ahead of it, it won't be that bad. And then number 5 is just, we really appreciate any feedback we always get about, what you did receive, any advice you have for the campaign, any feedback you have, like Juanita shared. So we'll ask you to fill out a reporting form.
Yeah. And just a quick note on the form is, unfortunately, we track everything except for this. We just, Amazon's privacy policies don't allow us to see what people purchase for you. So it's really, really helpful when you fill out that form and let us know what you got and received, or just an estimate of it, just so we know what's been successful and what hasn't. It really, really guides us for the next year. So we appreciate in advance you taking a few moments to provide that feedback form. So, all right, I think that's it.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for finding us on the link. If you missed the beginning and wondering where the heck we were, we are recording this, and it's going to be in your Shared Bytes email in just a little bit, along with the link to the toolkit and that media form. If you have any questions about anything related to the marketing side of Shop for Good, please reach out to me. If you have questions about building your wish list or getting it connected to your profile, Amanda is your best contact for that. So really appreciate you starting your morning with us, and we're here to help you be really successful. Yeah. So thank you.
Yep, and we're here all along during the month while you're preparing for this. Don't feel free to reach out. So awesome. Mm-hmm. All right. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.